To Kill a Mockingbird, compared to The Other Foot, made by Hannah K., Miss Beatty's 8th grade 5th period class, May 24th, 2017. The common theme of both To Kill a Mockingbird and The Other Foot is how justice is blind. Innocence can be destroyed, and you can restore your righteous acts. Revenge and differentiating between things is pointless and should be taken action of, and the right thing must be done. You must make sure that everyone is being treated correctly, and making sure of that makes not only you a better person, but the world a better place. To be angry is to revenge the faults of others on ourselves. Alexander Pope. You can't build and improve on yourself when you after someone else's downfall. Everyone is equal, and the bad times should be improved on. The Other Foot used many techniques throughout the story to develop the theme. Ray Bradbury used things like harsh language and flashback to portray feelings and basic understanding of the theme to keep the story going. This story was written in first-person point of view. This was overall a pretty intense story. The tone of the story was very much revengeful and unpleasant until the end, of course. There are also many obstacles that were overcome by the characters in the story. For example, the character Hattie, wife of Willie Johnson, had a dilemma of trying to teach or show her husband how to overlook his revenge of lynching the people that are coming to Mars. Another dilemma in the story would be for the white old man that comes out of the rocket. Although he is the antagonist in the story, he also had to find a way to overcome his problem. The white people back on Earth were at war and completely destroyed Earth. It was no longer fit to sustain human life, so the white decided to move to Mars, just to apologize and also keep their lives. There were also many smaller problems that just helped the story to keep moving. Then there's just the most obvious and the largest problem. Willie is refusing to let go of the past. He doesn't want to be fair to the white people that destroyed his family at one point. The end outcome, thanks to his wife and other townspeople, he takes a break from revenge and thinks it's time to start new. The main theme of just this book is the emphasis of revenge. 21 years after the fact, Willie Johnson still remembers the death of his parents and cannot forgive the white people responsible. However, related to this in the theme of that is asserted itself any place where there is majority that can oppress a minority. To Kill a Mockingbird was a very in-depth, almost hard-to-understand novel. Very well written by Harper Lee. Just like in the story The Other Foot, To Kill a Mockingbird used many techniques to move the story along as well to develop a theme. This story was also in first-person point of view. The general idea of the story is that Scout Finch lives with her brother Jem and their widowed father Atticus in sleepy Alabama town of Macomb. Macomb is suffering through the Great Depression, but Atticus is a prominent lawyer, and the Finch's family is reasonably well off in comparison to the rest of the society. One summer, Jem and Scout befriended a boy named Dill, who has come to live in their neighborhood for the summer, and the trio acts out stories together. Eventually, Dill becomes fascinated with a spooky house on the street called the Radley Place. The house is owned by Mr. Nathan Radley, whose brother, Arthur, nicknamed Boo, has lived there for years, without ventures outside. Scout is the main character. She is curious to adventure, a tomboy, and she is intelligent, she is courageous, and she has compassion. This is all learned through the story of how she acts and what is told by other characters. The language isn't always the most understandable to me. It has words cut off, so it's closer to the time period the story is taking place in. There are just some techniques, and in the novel there are a few more too. Moving on to obstacles that the character had to overcome. So the problem in this novel was that it's person versus person. Tom Robinson, an African American, is accused of raping Mayella Ewell, the daughter of Bob Ewell. It is a long trial that affects the town and main characters greatly. So Scout's father, Atticus, was white just like the rest of his family. And on the other hand, Tom was a black man. So Atticus was defending a black man in court. This caused people to be rude to Scout's entire family. This was the main thing that the character had to overcome. Thus, To Kill a Mockingbird is to destroy innocence. Throughout the book, a number of characters, Jem, Tom Robinson, Dill, Boo Radley, Mr. Raymond, can be identified as mockingbirds, innocents who have been injured or destroyed through contact with evil. The basic themes of life. In conclusion, the basic themes of life that should already be applied to everyday life and should be part of everyone's life philosophies affect and should be greatly impacted society. Though I am also just a kid, I understand how it is important to learn from stories like this. Everyone should understand how revenge isn't an answer and you should keep your innocence as long as possible. Knowing that what the world is like and seeing how you can only be conserved for so long, you must be prepared. And always look on the bright side. There is all the difference in the world between treating people equally to making them equal. Frederick Hayek. Everyone is the same. They just look different. No matter what, just know that you are not more than anyone, and trying to put someone beneath you and thinking that you are below someone is all wrong. So just remember, no one is born hating another person of the color of his skin or background or religion. People learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to a human heart than its opposite. Always remember, achievement has no color. All brought to you truly by yours, Hannah Khan.